Jasmine Crocket, the biggest ratchet garden tool in Congress, made a big announcement yesterday. She is too big, too important to be just a member of the House of Representatives. So she announced that she's going to be running for Senate in Texas, even though Texas hasn't had a Democrat senator for 30 years. But she thinks she has what it takes to break that streak.
There are a lot of people that said, you got to stay in the House. We need our voice. We need you there. And I understand. But what we need is for me to have a bigger voice. What we need is not only a voice, but we need to make sure that we are going to stop.
They're going to stop Donald Trump, but she needs more power. She can't be just a little member of the House of Representatives. She needs to be Senator Crocket. And obviously the size of her sign is about the size of her ego. Way too big. Here's her first campaign ad, which, of course, doesn't mention anything that she's going to do for the state of Texas. It is all 100% egocentric and consists only of Donald Trump calling her a piece of trash.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crocket. How about her?
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crocket. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crocket. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crocket. Oh, man. Oh, man.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crocket. Crocket's going to bring them back.
Democrats always drink way too much of their Kool-Aid. Imagine being so delusional that you believe that you have what it takes, being Jasmine Crocket, to become a senator in Texas. And speaking of delusions, here's Don Lemon.
People love AOC. People love Jasmine Crocket. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democrat...
We all know what kind of people he's talking about because the only ones who actually think that these people are qualified for anything really barely qualify as being people.
And the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're...
See, he's confusing the circus of cable news with being the average general populace. Because I guess having those clowns on those networks does boost the ratings because they're the equivalent of the Jerry Springer show in a news veneer. But the average American couldn't care less, has zero respect for any of these people. Eric Swalwell is like the dork in high school who always wants to hang out with the cool kids. And you feel sorry for him because he's nice and he means well, but he has nothing in common with you whatsoever. But you just feel sorry for him. So you're like, okay, fine. You can come to the party. The guy is literally best known for ripping one live on the air.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard...
Thankfully, Eric Swalwell is drinking the CNN and MSNBC Kool-Aid. He announced, that you may have heard, that he's running for governor of California. But back to Jasmine Crocket, whose campaign for Senate I fully support for strategic reasons.
When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
Not because of her education or her dedication to the field or her extreme passion for law, but because she's black, just like Martin Luther King wanted. Tell us about the platform you're running on and the source of your inspiration for what you hope to be your signature legislation.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a
Celebrities know what's best, obviously.
celebrity. And I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea. But I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes.
For reparations.
For a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket. But at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, you know, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right?
Listen, lady, we have more than compensated black people for the past injustices from generations and generations ago. Not to mention hundreds of thousands of white people died to free the slaves in the Civil War. And I'll say it because few people have the guts to. Black people living in America today should actually be grateful that their ancestors were brought here, because otherwise there's a very high likelihood that they would have been born in Africa, in a dirt hut with no running water, no toilet, and not even owning a pair of shoes. Instead, they get to enjoy all of the incredible benefits that the United States offers all citizens, well, and under Democrat policies, all criminal invaders as well. But you get my point. It's also long overdue that leaders in the black community apologize for N-word behavior. Obviously, the N-word isn't a term to describe members of an entire race. It's a term that is used to describe the behavior of members of a particular race that makes a distinction between a certain group of them and another group of them. Sort of like white trash doesn't refer to all white people. It refers to a subset of white people based off of their behaviors. Stay tuned because there's plenty more to come in this video, but real quick, this is the last week to order anything from markdice.com and get it in time for Christmas using standard shipping. So stop being a slacker, head on over there and order your Trump Claus sweatshirt and wear it to Christmas dinner, or the Trump Claus wrapping paper, or any of my awesome designs. By the way, get free shipping on anything in the US this week by using the promo code SENDTHEMBACK that I originally designed referring to the Somali immigrants, but I think it applies to people like Jasmine Crocket as well. So, whole bunch of new drinkware over there this year, a bunch of coffee mugs, black and white, beer glasses, the classic t-shirt designs, left crest, more minimalist, more discreet designs. So, head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out. Oh, and by the way, this was the entertainment at Jasmine Crockett's Senate kickoff party. Brace yourselves, because there is mega cringe coming in 3, 2.
She ain't never scared and she ain't never been. Who always willing to go toe-to-toe against the president? I can't wrap my head around someone who votes Republican. She advocate for feeding kids, they protect folks touching them. Trump invading his own country with our army, what a joke. We remember Pearl Harbor by illegally bombing boats, what y'all thought we wasn't gonna do.
This is not a parody, by the way. This really happened. And this really happened too, in case you missed it. This is the quality of the dialogue that Jasmine Crockett brings to Washington, D.C.
You don't want to talk about it, do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down. Calm
No,
down.
because this is what
like
y'all
to get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And
yelling.
You don't want
calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
Chair,
I don't know why
okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognize.
Another one of the pillars of her campaign is to make Americans less safe by hiring a bunch of DEI airline pilots, which, by the way, won't happen under the Trump administration, but this was her wish under the Biden regime.
Legislation into the FAA Reauthorization Act that really flew under the radar, thank God. But this was funding to make sure that hopefully we can increase the number of African Americans and Hispanics that are in.
So she admits she snuck some provisions into the bill, or the FAA budget, in order to try to hire more DEI pilots.
Entering aviation, which can be very expensive, but can obviously be very lucrative. And
that's why you get student loans. That's why people will give just about any student a loan for any amount of money.
so we set up a situation where basically
You were going to hire people who obviously weren't qualified to be airline pilots or even a barista at Starbucks. But thankfully, the Trump administration put an end to DEI Democrats employing idiots. And we finally made a lot of progress in other areas of the culture war. I've been hearing a lot of people use the N-word recently, the R-word, the other F-word. I mean, I'm not saying that you should say it online or at work if you don't work for an organization or in an industry where that is the norm, or if somebody's videotaping you, if you lose your temper, because you definitely shouldn't expect that someone's going to put up a GoFundMe page for you and raise you $100,000. But you get what I mean. And so Axios just published this. Guardrails against racist, xenophobic, and dehumanizing rhetoric have all but vanished on the American right. What was once disqualifying, or the exclusive domain of online trolls, is now a fixture of national political discourse. And Christmas came early for the Wisconsin woman who was fired from Cinnabon after the Somali immigrants videotaped her expressing her Somali fatigue. The Give, Send, Go page, which I will leave linked up down in the description below, is now over $126,000. Yesterday I made a mistake. I called it a GoFundMe page, just out of habit, because GoFundMe is kind of the generic term for these type of things. But GoFundMe would never allow her page. And she did not set this up herself. It's not like she posted this hoping to get some money. There's someone who sets these up for the viral video people who get canceled, okay? And so he set it up for her, and he's raised over $100,000. But for just a tiny fraction of that, you can get a Trump Claus sweatshirt from markdice.com and wear it to Christmas dinner to make it extra special this year. Or some Trump Claus wrapping paper, or the mug, or any of my awesome designs. Get free shipping in the US this week by using the promo code SENDTHEMBACK. One word, send them back. Like I said, a whole bunch of drinkware, black mugs, white mugs, some diversity in the mug section, and beer glasses, all the classic designs, the left crest, more discreet designs as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below. Get yourself an Alligator Alcatraz shirt, the Sorry No Vacancy Deport Them All shirt, War is a Racket shirt, or any of my awesome designs. So again, head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.